Hello and welcome back. This is Coach DeSico, coach of your UNC Tarheliolisks. This is NBA Season 2 Week 3 matchup against Seattle Sonix. Now, Mr. Sonix called me out for an early week battle, and I let my pride get the best of me, and I took him up on the offer. So, I made this team day of, battled him at night while I was still at work, so I couldn't do an in-game commentary. So this is a pre-game team builder and a post-game analysis of my decision making and the outcome of the battle. And look, I know what you're thinking. I'm 2-0, my opponent is 0-2. This should be an easy game, right? But that's not the case at all. The Seattle Sonix were the Western Conference champions in Season 1, so I cannot take this game lightly whatsoever. And we do have a little bit of a history. We battled each other 2 times in Season 1. The first time we met, I 6-0'd him. The second time we met, he 6-0'd me. So, round 3, let's get into it. Alright, looking at my opponent's roster, he has Zygarde, Tapu Fini, Blissey, Serena, Xatu, Moltres, Magnezone, Raboot, Frostlass, Machoke, and Dunsparce. So the first thing I'm looking at his team is that my Arctozolt can run a train through everything. It can hit Zygarde, Tapu Fini for super effective, Blissey with huge damage unless he runs it defensively. Serena gets bopped, Xatu gets bopped, Moltres gets bopped, it gets Stomping Tantrum, probably bopped on Raboot, probably bopped on Frostlass, and if he brings Machoke, maybe it can survive a hit, and then Dunsparce, I don't really know. So I think I'm going to build my team around Hail this week. And the other thing I noticed is that for the first time ever, I have a speed advantage. The only Pokemon that he has faster than my Urshifu is Frostlass, so I do see him bringing it. Maybe he brings a Scarf like he did last week just to ensure that he outspeeds my entire team, but without it, Urshifu should have a good day because it outspeeds everything. I'm going to bring that thing Scarfed and then coverage moves to hit anything that he wants to bring. So let's get into it. I have Bone-In Ditto. I'm running it defensive this week because it can pretty much check anything he wants to bring physically offensive. It can take a boosted hit from Zygarde. It can take hits from Serena all day. It can take hits from Raboot all day and then Machoke all day as well. He does have a lot of knockoffs on his team, and my team does not like knockoffs. 2 of my biggest walls are Eviolite users, and I have Mew. So I want to bring Colbur Berry Mew to make sure that I can take a knockoff, maybe take a hit from Moltres, and deal back something else. So my moveset, I have Triple Axle to hit a lot of his Pokemon, Zygarde, Serena, Xatu, Moltres, and maybe even Raboot or Frostlass for some decent damage. I have Knockoff to get rid of any Scarfers he have because any Scarfers would outspeed my Arctozolt. So I'm hoping to throw some knockoffs on his team, get rid of any Scarfers. I have Soft Boiled for longevity and Whirlwind just in case he gets like a behind his sub with Zygarde or a Calm Mind with Tapu Fini. So Whirlwind is there to disrupt him, and then also if I can get up some Spikes or Stealth Rocks, I can start phasing him for some good damage on the switches. Next, we have Urshifu Rapid Strike, Choice Scarf with enough speed to outspeed a modest Choice Scarf Frostlass. I can't outspeed that thing if it's timid, so I didn't want to waste the extra speed points. So I put it into Special Defense, then Max Attack. I'm only going to plan on clicking Surging Strikes for the most part. Maybe I can use a Poison Jab on a switch-in for a defensive Tapu Fini if he brings it. And U-turn for some momentum. Now, I need to be careful for Rocky Helmets, like I say every single week. I can see him bringing Rocky Helmet Tapu Fini on a defensive set. I can see him bringing on Serena, Xatu maybe. So I need to be careful early game. Early game I'm going to be clicking U-turn a lot just to find out what Pokemon of his are defensive, if there are any Rocky Helmets that I need to look out for. Next we have Baby Maggie, the Arctozolt, Life Orb for some extra damage, Slush Rush, and enough speed to outspeed, or Choice Scarf, Adamant Zygarde. Bolt Beak, Icicle Crash for strong stab damage, Stomping Tantrum for the Magnezone, and then Hail if I'm ever in a predicament where Abomasnow is gone. I need to set up my own weather. Next we have Mr. President, the Abomasnow with Heavy Duty Boost to get free switches, and I'm running max HP, max attack with an Adamant nature. Wood Hammer, I'm pretty sure one-shots Tapu Fini if it isn't fully defensive. Ice Shard is there for some pretty solid damage, probably like 50% on everything from Zygarde, not Serena, but Xatu, Moltres. So if I'm ever in a predicament where I need priority, it's always there. And then Earthquake is there to get any switches on Magnezone if he thinks that he can bring it in safely. And Aurora Veil is amazing. Why would I not bring it? Next we have Keisha, the Klefki. I'm bringing this because it is a 100% of the time a check for Moltres. So Moltres can set up. I think in the past he's brought weakness policy and agility, and I dual resist. I resist both of his stats, so I resist dark, I resist flying. I don't think it gets much coverage to hit this thing. So I'm going to bring it max defensive and then light screen to cover up if I do need to protect myself against a boosting Moltres. And then finally we have Ouchie Lego the Corsola with an Eviolite, max special defense. This thing is here just to tank hits from anything on his team. If he tries to set up with Tapu Fini, I can haze away. I can tank hits from Xatu, Moltres even. If Moltres isn't boosted, it can tank hits all day. Magnezone doesn't like anything about it. And I can survive hits from Raboot as well and heal up with Strength Set. Stealth Rock is there for hazards. He has a lot of flying types, a lot of rock weaknesses, so I'm putting Stealth Rocks up as much as I can. And then Earthquake is there, or Earth Power is there to maybe get damage on Magnezone if he wants to stay in. So yeah, that's the team. I'm pretty nervous about this game. I don't know what he's going to bring. I think he's going to bring maybe Zygarde. I think he's going to bring a Tapu Fini defensively, maybe Blissey. I think Serena, like a bulky offensive Pokemon, Moltres, Magnezone, Raboot, and Frostlass. So let's get into it. Let's see what he brings. Alright, here we are. We have Machoke, Tapu Fini, Moltres, Magnezone, Raboot, and Blissey. Two things before we start. I'm surprised not to see Frostlass, given that it was his fastest Pokemon, and it was his only chance to outspeed my team. So that tells me that Urshifu can run free throughout this game as long as there's no Rocky Helmets to stop me. So I'm going to try to fish out those Rocky Helmets early on, try to figure out if I can knock them off, if he has them at all. So, in second, I'm surprised to see Machoke. Machoke tells me that he was prepared for a Hail Team for me, because Machoke gets Bullet Punch, is pretty physically defensive with its Eviolite, and it gets Dynamic Punch to hit both of my Ice types. So I gotta be careful for that. If I can get rid of that Pokemon early on, that would be great. So again, looking at his team, I know my Urshifu outspeeds everything on his team, so I'm just gonna lead with that and try to fish out that Rocky Helmet and find out if his Tapu Fini is defensive or not. And so we see Raboot first turn. I don't see any world where he would stay in, so I'm gonna U-turn right away. And he goes into Tapu Fini like I thought he would. And based off of this damage, he is a little bit defensive. So I go straight into Abomasnow to get up my Hail. And I don't know what he wants to do here. I don't think he will stay in, but just in case he does, I'm clicking Wood Hammer to get off some huge damage. And he goes out into Machoke right away. And I do some great damage, 46%, that's huge. I definitely don't want to stay in. I'm terrified of Bullet Punches and Dynamic Punches. I didn't run the calcs, but I'm sure he'll just take me out. So I'm going to go right into my defensive Pokemon, which is Mew. It can take care of anything that Machoke wants to do. And he doubles out into Magnezone. Now, I don't want to do... Mew doesn't want anything to do with Magnezone. It does a huge amount of damage with Thunderbolt and Flash Cannon. So I'm going to go right into my specially defensive Pokemon, which is Corsola. Now, Corsola takes this like a champ, and he Volt Switches out into Blissey, which is a good play. He predicted my switch when using a Volt Switch, getting momentum on me. I don't know what Blissey wants to do if he throws off... He can't throw a Toxic because of Misty Terrain. I'm assuming he wants to get his rocks on early game. So I'm going to take this free opportunity to get Urshifu back out there. So I go into Urshifu, and he throws off a Wish. I think he's going to switch out into Machoke probably, or maybe Tapu Fini to get his health back up. So again, I'm just going to U-turn. Nobody's going to stay in right now. Yep, so he goes back into Tapu Fini, and he will heal back to full health, but I'm going to go straight into Abomasnow again. Get my Hail back up, and I Wood Hammered last turn. So predicting that, I know he's going to switch unless he wants to stay in for some reason. But I'm going to take this opportunity to get my Veil up. So he goes Magnezone. I ran the calculations. Behind the Aurora Veil, I can survive a Flash Cannon. So I brought Earthquake for this reason. I'm going to click Earthquake. just in case he stays in, or maybe he's going to Volt Switch into something else to take the grass or ice hit, or predicting me going to switch myself. So he does go for that Volt Switch. So let's see if he brings in a Magnezone. Nope, he brings in Raboot, and that easily gets taken out by my Earthquake. Huge ups right away. So he goes out into Blissey. I think he's going to be a physically defensive Blissey if he keeps on bringing it in on my physical Pokemon. I'm assuming he's going to Wish again, so I'm going to take this opportunity to switch out into Klefki to get up some spikes. So he Wishes, and I think he's going to teleport here, but he just hard switches out into Machoke. He heals all the way back up. I have a Misty Terrain. I have a Klefki with Dazzling Gleam, so why not click it and see what I can do? So he goes into Magnezone. I hit him with the Dazzling Gleam, and it does 15%, not crazy. So here, I'm assuming he's going to try to hit me with the Thunderbolt or Flash Cannon. Both are going to do huge damage to me. I'm going to set up Light Screen because my Aurora Veil is going to be ending next turn. I don't think they stack, but I'm going to set up a Light Screen now so I can make a safe switch later on this Magnezone. Thunderbolt only does 28%. He doesn't know that I'm Shed Shell, so I'm going to switch out here into Corsola. Take this hit like a champ. And I'm going to, I think, click Stealth Rock here. Okay, so I can go into Mew here. Take the knockoff like a champ. And now I can click knockoff of my own. Oh, I Whirlwind. Beautiful. Blissey comes out. He's going to Wish here. But I'm just going to Whirlwind again just in case. Oh, nope, I knock off. I Whirlwind here to make sure he doesn't get healed up on something else. He goes back out into Blissey and heals back up, which I'm okay with. So right here, I'm thinking he's going to Wish again. He's at 87%, and I'm pretty sure I'm in range for an Arctozolt Bolt Beat here. I know I'm going to outspeed it, so I'm going to go straight into Arctozolt and just bop him with a Bolt Beat. He survives on 8%, and he hits me with a counter. Huge play, big respects, big ups. Arctozolt could have just swept through his entire team. So that's a big threat out of the way for him. I got to bounce back, and Urshifu's got to pick up some slack here. So Urshifu comes back out. I'm going to U-turn again. I don't need to stay in for any reason. And I'll go back out into Corsola, I believe. So here, I want to heal back up. I'm getting pretty low. So he Volt switches into Blissey. And I heal back big, big health. Not looking good. What do I do here? Back out into Urshifu. He Wishes. I can just click Surging Strikes at this point. Pick up my 8th kill for Urshifu. Tapu Finis here. Not quite range. I think I do 23% with my Surging Strikes. So I'm going to go hard into my... What do I go into? Corsola. Take the Moonblast. And lucky enough, I pick up the Disable. So I'm safe here. I know he's probably going to switch or maybe go for a Defog. So I'm going to take this opportunity to get out my offensive Pokemon. Go back out into Urshifu. Get another kill for Surging Strikes. That's my 9th kill for Urshifu. He goes out into Tapu Fini. I'm in range here. Pick up a kill. 10th kill, right? Now, I think I do max like 70%, so I can't pick up a kill here, which is no good because I'm worried about what he's going to do. And he goes for an Agility right away, which tells me this thing's going to be his Weakness Policy Berserk set. So I'm going to set up my Light Screen right away, just to take any hits. He goes for the Nasty Plot as well. This is terrifying. I need to whittle this thing down. Yes, I'm going to hit it with a Dazzling Gleam, and that is going to activate his Weakness Policy probably and get him into Berserk range. But I need to get this thing down for my Ice Shard from Abomasnow. So I'm going to try to sack my Klefki here. Whittle him down with some good damage. Perfect. Abomasnow can use its priority move with Ice Shard. Pick up the kill. And that should be game there. just because I'm being selfish, I'm going to sacrifice my Bomb and Snow, let Urshifu pick up its 11th kill. So yeah, Urshifu comes in, picks up the kill, cleans up the game, putting us at 3-0 for the season. We're off to a great start. Good game, Coach. I'm sure I will see you in the playoffs, even though you had a rough start to the season. But we're looking good. Looking forward to our next match against Atlanta. Tune in next week for our battle.